Hello, this is Essie the Rich Woman. Today is Wednesday. It is almost 3:30 p.m. The man upstairs is listening to his music loud today. I guess he's in the mood. He don't listen to it loud that much, but I guess he has the feeling to listen to it loud today, so you probably can hear it because I turned on my recorder um, to see if you can listen to it, and you could, but I wasn't talking. So I'm talking now, so I don't know if you can hear it or not. But so I'm just like so tired. I you know what I was going through with the housing authority, they wouldn't accept my business expenses. Um, well, they accepted my tax return, but they wouldn't use them. So anyway, they accepted the business expenses. Let me see, when did we sent it to them last Tuesday, me and the advocate. And so it's a lot. It's a lot of receipts. And so, yeah, I don't know when I'm going to hear back from them. But I was like, oh, I'm so glad that that's done. So I'm like, now I can breathe. I can relax a little bit, So I thought. 2 days later, um, after I finished sending the receipts and everything, on a Tuesday, on Thursday, I get a letter in between the door, and it was paperwork from the apartment building for me to do my yearly income verification for the apartment building. So I was like, but at least they gave us to June the 1st to have everything turned in. So I'm like, I taped it on my door so I could see it every day when I come in and out. But I'm not going to worry about that until May. Yep, the beginning of May, that's when I will start getting the income and everything that they need. And they need income for the whole year. Because when I apply because the housing authority is separate from the apartment. Because the apartment has to file taxes, and they get audited and everything. So I have to turn in my whole year of income to the apartment, because when I first moved in here, they asked for more stuff than the housing authority asked for. Because the housing authority asked for like a couple of months of income. So this time they asked for 3 months of income back, back 3 months, 1 month of bank statement. That's what the housing authority asked for. But the apartments, they asked for a whole year of income. So, and they didn't want month by month. They wanted, because it's weekly, they wanted week by week. So I had to go and screenshot every week, a whole year. And I don't even know how did I send that to them. I don't even know how I sent that to them. Um, I don't even remember a whole week. I must have sent more than 10. I mean, more than 5. I know YouTube was saying something about you can send 5 at a time, but I know I sent more than that. I believe I did in one email. Anyway, so yeah, I'm not going to worry about the apartment right now until May. So I'm like, okay, cool. And I went into the office, the apartment office, to pay my back pay, a portion of my back pay. So as I was coming out, I checked my mailbox. and there's 2 letters in there from the housing authority. And I was like, I don't want to open this because every time I open anything having to do with the housing authority, it just really upsets me. And I'm like, I don't want to open this. This is my day off. I want to, because I want to sit out on my patio, enjoy, like, I like to sit out. I like dust, when the sun has just went down. I like that look. So I like dust. And I wanted to sit out there on my patio around dust. Um, and I also wanted to soak my feet in some Epsom salt and, baking powder and stuff. And someone said, just open it. I just opened both of the letters, and I was like, it was a big packet, and it was a questionnaire for me to fill out for the yearly income verification. I was like, oh my God. And what really got to me is it had a date of March the 16th on the paperwork, but it was postmarked March the 17th, and told me I had to have it in by March the 26th, which is tomorrow. And I just got it yesterday. I was like, why would they give you such a short time to turn in paperwork? And then it said, you must complete and return the questionnaire and all required verification listed below by March the 26th. Oh, they put the wrong date on here. No, the wrong year. Yeah, it says it must be turned in by March the 26th, 2025. So I think that works in my favor. That works in my favor because they put the wrong year. Yep. And then it said failure to comply may result in the termination of housing assistance. It says that in big bold writing. Failure to comply may result in the termination of housing assistance. So I don't know. I was thinking if I don't have it in by this date, that they can terminate my housing authority. That's what just came to me, but it might be talking about um the whole thing, like turning in your income, filling out the questionnaire, because it talks about that responsible corporate examination process. It also talk about they could do a inspection of your apartment, which I didn't know that. I know that the apartment inspects your apartment. They could do it every 6 months. They could do it once a year. And so I already had one by the apartments. I haven't been here a year yet. So, but I didn't know that the housing authority can also come out and inspect your apartment too. I didn't know that. But I learned that reading this right here. So, I emailed the supervisor just telling him that, can I have an extra week? He hasn't responded. So I'm not finna rush and have this turned in. I'm glad I looked at this year because I feel like um, I'm just gonna do everything on Tuesday. Finish, send everything on Tuesday because this year, like, you know, I feel like the date is not really valid about having it turned in because it don't have the right year on it. So I'm glad I looked and saw that. Glad I picked it up. Because when I walked in and I opened the envelope, I was kind of like stressing. Because I'm like, such a short time to fill this out. But I did fill out most of it yesterday because I was off. So I still got 2 more pages I need to fill out. And then it's saying it won't original like your income verification stuff like that. It says it won't original papers. Like, who asks for originals? They saying that they don't want copies. Who asked for your original paperwork? And it didn't come with anything like to send it back. So I guess I got to buy my own envelope, to send it back because it didn't come with anything. It didn't tell me who to return to or nothing. So anyway, I said, so I went and knocked on my neighbor's door, the white lady that lived in front of me, and I asked her about did she get her income, her questionnaire from the housing authority. And she said she got hers last month around Valentine's. I was like, really? And she said it gave her a week to return it back. And she said she just threw it away. And I said, you threw it away? I said, you shouldn't throw away anything from the house authority. And when I said that, then she said, oh, well, I don't know where I put it. That's what because she kept saying threw it away. And then after she kept saying that, that's when I said, what, you shouldn't throw anything away from the house authority. Then she said she don't know where she put it. So she said that they're going to send her another one. So she definitely has not had hers in by a week. And she said the lady, her caseworker, was calling the apartments looking for it, or calling her, either one. And so if she ain't had hers in over a month, so I ain't gonna worry about it. I will have it in next week because the date on here is wrong anyway, the year. So I'm glad about that. But so yesterday they put me on a payment plan. So I pay my rent at the beginning of the month. We supposed to pay it between the 1st and the 5th, right? And I can't be late. And this whole payment plan is because of the housing authority, because they wouldn't accept my business expenses. And so that's why they put me on a payment plan, because I wasn't paying the rent. So I paid March rent, and that stopped the 3-day pay or quit notice. And so now I have to pay $300 by the 25th to my back rent, which I think will be eliminated once they finish doing the receipts. And I think I will get a credit back. Yeah, I think I'll get a credit back. Probably get some money back too, a refund, once they finish accepting all my receipts and they adjust the rent. So I went and got a money order yesterday at the post office, and then I came back here and I filled out the money order. I took a picture of the money order. And I needed the address on the office, but I did put the apartment, the name of the apartment on the money order, and my name and address and everything. So I just needed the address from the apartment. So I always record when I go in here dealing with these people because I don't trust them. Now that I know for sure that the manager wants me evicted, I don't trust them. So when I go in there and deal with the office people, the management part, I record. So I went in, and when I went in, I go to the first lady, which is the black lady. I don't know what her title is, because the so-called assistant manager is not here anymore. So I don't know if she's assistant manager now or she's still like helping. So I don't know what her title is. Um, so, but the manager office is the second office after you walk in. I really don't want to deal with her. So, but the black lady, she kind of has this, she's like an older black lady. I think she's like 60s, in her 60s, but she kind of has this little, like, I don't know, like attitude, you know. It was real bad when I first moved in. I noticed she kind of had like a real bad attitude, and I could tell that she looked down on us. Um, and so I really didn't want nothing to do with her. But then she started to get better. So I don't know what happened. I think maybe the regional manager being around, maybe she got better with the regional because she's the boss. So, or somebody maybe cussed her out, or because these people will cuss you out. Like they don't care about who they are. But so I'm like, maybe it's gonna take somebody to cuss her out a couple of times for her to get right. But she started acting better. And I was thinking, where did that attitude go? Like, because I feel like she showed us her true self in the beginning. Because usually you're gonna put your best foot forward when you meet someone, right? When you interact with people, you're gonna put your best foot forward, right? And she didn't. So I'm like, well, this her. Because I have always said, when I became homeless, um, okay, so when you're not homeless, you know how people put on the front and they act like they're good people or decent people, then, but it doesn't last because that's not who they really are. So after time, probably not so much time, you will find out their true colors. But when you're homeless, people show you their true colors right up front. They don't feel like you're worthy for them to put on an act or to pretend, you know, they don't feel that you're worthy when you're homeless. So when you're homeless, you're going to see that person's true colors right up front. So um, I was thinking about her and I was like, I feel like that's her true colors because most of us was homeless when we moved in here and she knew that. They knew that in the office. So, and I think that's one of the reasons why I felt that she looked down on us. So she was showing her true colors when I first moved in here. So anyway, she started acting better, started being more professional, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Um, because I was gonna tell the manager at one time, I don't want to deal with her. I want because she got an attitude. I don't want to because I know how I am too. Um, I can kind of like ignore things, but I feel I like to nip things in the bud because if you're disrespectful and I ignore that, you're going to continue to be disrespectful and it's not going to change. And I don't want to be disrespected. So, but I'm glad I didn't tell the manager I didn't want anything to do with her because now I don't like the manager. I'm like, oh my goodness. So anyway, I when I went in there to take my money order in there, it's it was the black woman, and then there's a black man, a tall, big black man, was sitting on the other side of her. Where the actual um, person sits when she's helping them, right? So it's her behind the desk, and then there's two chairs in front of the desk. So he was sitting over by the chair by the wall. So I'm guessing since the assistant manager man left, they brought him in. And I think they brought him in because I think they asked for him because he's a big black man. And so before they start giving out these 3-day pay or quit notices, they hired 24-hour security because we only had security from 7 p.m. to like 7 a.m. So before they knew that they were going to give out the 3-day pay or quit notices, this is how scared they are, because it's all women in there. Now that the assistant manager left, and I think he was kind of, So a week before the 3-day pay or quit notice went out, they made the security 24/7. And I think it was because they were scared that some of these people were going to go in there and attack them. So not only, and that wasn't enough. So when they got the 24-hour security, which in the daytime, he's mostly by the office. Soon after that, they got the big black man to work in the office. And I'm like, oh, he's slash security. I'm sure he don't know that, but he's slash security, and I bet you they asked for him. So when I went in there, they were helping this other guy. He needed a permit, I guess, for company, like a parking pass. So they were writing him out a parking pass, and they was putting the license plate on the parking pass. And so the black guy said, "I'll be with you in a minute." I was like, "Okay." And I was like, "Well, I just want to ask a quick question. Is this the address on the building?" And I said the address. And he was like, "I don't know." He's like, and then he asked the black woman. And she said an address, but I know that was wrong, because when I Googled it, map, and put in navigation, it was wrong. So she was like, "Well, what you need?" I said, "I need to turn in the money order." And she said, "Well, you don't need the address on there. You have your address on there?" I said, "Yeah." And she said, "Just put the apartment, the name of the apartment on the just like you do a check." And so she reached her hand out. I gave it to her, and she said, "Yeah, this is fine." And I said, "Okay." And she just took it and stuck it under some papers on her desk. And she was also on the computer and stuff too. And I'm like, "Can I have a receipt?" So when I said, "Can I have," the black man had went and sat down, because the other guy, he left. So when I said, "Can I have a receipt?" the black man looked up at me like I was asking for something strange, like I was being difficult or something. I thought that was strange, the way he looked up at me like that. He did that when I asked for a receipt. I think it's strange that you would take someone's money order. You would take rent for someone, a payment from someone, and not give them a receipt. I think that's strange. I don't think it's strange to ask for a receipt. I think it's strange to take my money. I told you guys I met when I was going to the senior center, I met this 92-year-old woman. And we used to always sit up and talk. She died at 100. But we used to always sit up and talk. I used to go over her house. And she would just, we would just talk. We would talk about a lot of things. We always had interesting conversations. And being her at 92, she had a long life, okay? And so she shared stories and stuff with me and everything. And this woman was about her money, okay? And she had someone in her family to go pay the rent. And it was to, I think, a white man or a Jewish man. But she has somebody in her family to go pay her rent for her, right? And she told him to get a receipt. Well, her relative went to pay the rent, and the man was leaving. Him and his wife was leaving to go somewhere. So they were in a hurry. And he took the rent from him and said, I'll write the receipt later. I'll give you the receipt later. So her relative came home and told her. She was mad. She told me, she said she was upset. And she called that man and told him, if you got time to take my money, you got time to give me a receipt. And so that story always stuck with me, you know. And it's so true. It's so true. Don't let nobody take any money from you without giving you a receipt. And then sit up and look at me like I'm being difficult or I'm being a problem because I asked for a receipt. The thing about it is she was busy. Now I'm on this payment plan, right? Because I haven't been paying my rent because of the HUD housing. So I'm on this like strict payment plan. So I cannot be late with my rent or back rent payments. I can't be late. So the back pay rent is due on the 25th of every month until HUD readjusts the rent again. So I paid it yesterday on the 24th, right? So if I was recording, which I don't know if I don't care if they know or not, but I was recording because I need that proof for myself. So when she took my money order and just put it under some papers, hid it under some papers, and want to go on back doing what she doing, I'm like, I need a receipt because if she forgets, she busy. If she forgets that the money order is under there, and I know that I'm on a strict payment plan, I know this. She don't care about me being on a strict payment plan. And then she forget that it's under there, and then when past the 25th has passed, and they'd be thinking, oh, she didn't turn in her March payment. And now they want to start charging me late fees. She said the late fees will kick in from the first time I moved in. So all those months will be a $50 late fee. So you know how people, this is my situation, it's not hers. So of course she don't care. They don't care. It ain't their situation. They not on a strict payment plan. So her just taking my money order and just putting it under there and thinking she gonna go on about her business, and I'm supposed to walk out of there, even though I got plenty of proof. I took a picture of it. I got my receipt and my stub. I was recording. Even though I still want a receipt. So she got up and she made a copy of the money order, and then she took this little device and stamped the date on it and then handed it to me. Like, I didn't like the way she handed it to me. She kind of handed, like this. Kind of like I was being difficult, but I'm not being difficult. If you're going to take my money, I want a receipt. Like, where do you do that at? Every time in the past, when I would pay rent, they will always write me a receipt. I know we like more advanced now, I haven't paid rent in years. What, 14, how long I've been homeless? 14 and a half. 14 and a half years before, I got this place. I know I haven't paid rent that long, but I still need a receipt because I don't trust them. I don't trust them in there. The man upstairs, he said that he paid one time. He gave them a money order and they lost the money order. They should have a spot where they put everybody's money order, an actual spot for it, They don't. I done been in there, I done seen people pay their rent and they take the money order and they just put it anywhere on the desk, anywhere. Someone can go and take the money order, rip it up. They don't know. They don't know that. Anybody could do that. And then they'll be saying, I didn't pay. They'll be saying, well, what check number, and or be coming to me at wanting me to prove that I paid the rent. That's all that would happen, and that would be up to them, not me. So yeah, I thought that was strange yesterday when I asked for that money receipt. The way he looked up at me like I was being difficult or something. I'm like, just get ready. Every time I go in there and pay, I want a receipt. So expect to print to copy it and stamp it every time I go in there. Crazy. Yeah, but I just hate it when you deal with black people and they're not. I just hate it when my people are not. Um, what can I say? How can I say this? When my people act funny with me, I don't like that, because I'm like, we all black, you know what I'm saying? And I may not, you may look down on me because I'm living in HUD housing, but believe me, you being looked down on by other people. Like, we all need to respect each other. I'm not walking in there being looking like a slut or looking like a dope theme. I'm not walking in there not being respectful of myself. I'm on HUD housing. That's it. I want to be respected just like you want to be respected. Whether you on HUD or not, you want to be respected. I want to too. I don't want to teach people, my own people, looking down on me because I'm on HUD housing. And that's how I feel about them in there. And it's not just them, it's all of them, really. It's all of them. But really, when my people do stuff to me, it just hit different, you know, because it's like I kind of expect it from the other people. But when it's my people, I'm really more offended by it, you know? Because I'm like, y'all know what it is to be black. Y'all know what it is to have people treat you a certain way. So it really hits harder when it's my people that act like that. So it's a post office here, not far from here. I When I go to it, I would go to the post office I've been going to because it's black people in there. And the energy is just so not nice. It's very negative energy in that post office. I went there to ship off an order when I first moved here. And I'm like, okay, well, I go to that post office because it's a little closer. So I went there. It was 3 black people working there behind the counter. And their attitude was just so nasty, so stank, you know. They were not friendly. They were not smiling. They was just like mechanical, like they wasn't interacting with the customers. Um, the girl there, she seemed like she had a nasty attitude. Um, Next, just I was like, ugh. So I shipped that order off. I said, I'm not coming back here. And I hate to be like that with my people, but I'm like, I don't wanna be treated like that. It's worse when it comes from my people. It's worse. So the post office that where my P.O. box is, that's where I go. That's where I continue to go because when I was living in my car in the shopping center, I was real close to that post office, my storage unit, my the post office where my P.O. box is, my gas station, my gym membership, my gym was all close. My car wash, all close. But so I'm like, I'm going to continue going to the post office I've been going to. When I walk in that post office, no black people work there. unfortunately. No black people work there, but the feeling is so homey. You know, I've been going there for years. So when I go in there, they always speak to me. We had conversations. They talk about me doing Uber. I done gave them business cards for them to give to, customers, because they say it'd be a lot of older people coming there and they don't know how to do the Uber app. So I gave them business cards. So it's like this family homey feel when I go into that post office where my PO box is. And no black people work there. There's like two Mexican women. There's a white woman, actually two white women. But it's the Mexican women that's make it more homey. Yeah, it's the Mexican women. Um, yeah. And yeah, it just have this, it's in Old Town Marietta. It just have this homey type feel to it. So very friendly people, hold a conversation with you, talk to you, and the one in that's close to me, it's just I think it's just a tad bit closer, because the one in Marietta is not all that far. Really, it isn't. But so yeah, I'm supposed to be working today, but it's 4 o'clock now, and I don't know if it's gonna happen. I really don't want to work today. I need 3 days off in a row, because I've been working. I've been taking Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday off. That's what I've been doing. That's the days I've been taking, because Wednesdays is pretty good to work. So I've been working, but I be like, I need an extra day but you know what? The days I really want off is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. That's the days I really want off. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. And then work the rest of the days, because the rest of the days are good days to work. But I started working on Sunday because on Sunday the kids are out in full effect, okay? And they hang out by my apartment, like especially by my bedroom, and I can hear them. And sometimes they wake me up, and it just, I be like, and then they come over here by my living room. So if I'm in my living room watching the TV, they're loud, they're playing on the stairs. I be like, oh, I might as well go to work, so I get more peace at work on Sundays than being around here. But I really would prefer Sunday, Monday, Tuesday off and work the rest of the days. So I didn't get much sleep, so I don't know if I'm even. I got a lot to do. I feel, because tomorrow, well, I gotta go to the dentist at 5 p.m. And I was thinking about meeting the lady, the advocate, so we can send this stuff to the housing authority, but I don't know. I might just do it on Tuesday. I might just wait till Tuesday, give me more time to, you know, get the information they need and fill it out. Uh, I thought I was going to be able to, rest for a while, but I see I'm not. Um, I've been wanting to bake a cake. I haven't baked a cake in a while. I hear noise out there. I haven't baked a cake in a while. So I want to bake a chocolate cake. I have the vanilla ice cream in the freezer. It's been there for over a month because I haven't really had time, or when I do have time, I'm tired. I don't feel like baking the cake. I don't mind baking the cake, but then I think about, I gotta wash the dishes too. And then I'll be like, I don't feel like it. Because I gotta wash the mixing bowl and the thing that I bake it in, and I'll be like, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like doing all that. But yeah, I need to make some mashed potatoes. Um, and peel. I gotta peel the mashed potatoes and boil them. So I made my friend some mashed potatoes. I took her some lunch because she works at a hospital not far from me. And one day she went to work. She worked graveyard shift, so she got up, I think, an hour before. She said she just went to work. She didn't even eat or anything. So that night, I just happened to text her and asked her, "Did you bring yourself some lunch for tonight?" And she said no. And I said, "You want me to bring you some chicken?" She was like, "Yes, please." So I put her some, like, 3 chicken legs in the air fryer, and I had made some mashed potatoes earlier that day, and then I heat up some green beans. So I took that to her, and she loved my mashed potatoes. I felt like my mashed potatoes was not creamy enough. I didn't put enough, I guess, whipping cream in my mashed potatoes, but it was still good though. Even though I felt like it wasn't creamy enough, it was still good. It was like, I felt like it was like pure mashed potatoes. I just put butter in it, and I put some whipping cream in it, and I put some seasoning, some garlic salt. But the garlic salt with the herbs and stuff in it, like it got like green flakes and that type of garlic salt, because it's another type where it's just all white. I didn't use that. I used the one with the green flakes. I guess it got like little chips of onions or whatever in there. So I used that one. And so I guess I didn't put probably enough whipping cream to make it more creamy. And if I take a mixer, I probably could get it even more, like whipped, like creamier. But I just took the mashed thing and mashed it down, and then added the milk, the butter first, and then mashed it, and then added the milk and stuff. But she liked it. So now I told her, what I like to do is make a big thing of mashed potatoes and then put it in the refrigerator, and I can eat it on it like for like a whole week. So I make some chicken in the air fryer or in a deep fryer. I make some chicken, and then I go get me a spoonful of that mashed potatoes, put it in the microwave, warm it up. I might just have that and chicken, or I have that chicken and some vegetables, maybe green beans or frozen vegetables or something, and it's like so perfect. Because at first I was like, having rice with my chicken. But I think I like the mashed potatoes. When I get sick of the mashed potatoes, then I might go back to rice. But when I have rice with it, then I want gravy on my rice. But when I make the mashed potatoes, I don't have to have gravy. I can have gravy, and I can not have gravy. But yeah, that's a good idea. I could make some gravy too to go on the mashed potatoes. But yeah, so I got she gave me a big bag of potatoes, and then I had a smaller bag of potatoes, and so I need to peel them and boil them. So I got this big pan. If I peel all of them, I'm gonna have to use this big pan I bought from Walmart. I was at Walmart the other night. What was it? Tuesday night. I went to Walmart, and then you be seeing stuff you want to buy. I saw this skillet. It's an electric skillet. It was $25. I was like, I want that skillet. It had a glass top on the skillet, but I wanted that skillet, and I might go back and get it. Yeah, I wanted that skillet. I was trying to think, was there something else I saw that I wanted there? I don't know if I really need the skillet. I feel like it's it's an extra pot too, you know, and it's an extra pot with a lid because I have my skillets, pans, I guess. My pans don't have a lid. Yeah. And so I would like one with a lid. And that skillet had a lid. And because you know some of these skillets and stuff are not cheap, you know. And for that $25 to get a skillet with a lid and it's an electric one too, I'm like, I don't know if I can. I think I can take it off and put it on the eye if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think I could take it off and put it on the eye. I think so. But that would be perfect too, you know, if I could do that. Then I could get me like a pan with a lid for a good price, you know. So I might go back and get that. I saw this plant stand I want on Amazon, and I really want that too. I'll put on my patio because I have a lot of plants on my patio. We supposed to have 5 plants on the patio, but I have more than 5. The people here got all kinds of crap on their balconies and patios, all kinds of crap. Okay, so I read the paper. We're not supposed to have recyclables on our patios. They got recyclables. We're not supposed to be using the balconies and stuff for storage. They are using it for storage. Just the man right here is using it for storage. He got all kinds of, and we're not supposed to have bikes on our patio, our balconies, but they got bikes on there. And we only supposed to have like patio furniture. I saw one apartment had a love couch on they on their patio, a love couch. I was like, they ain't said nothing about that. And I was telling my friend about it, and she was like, I saw that because she came over here a couple of times. She said, I saw that love couch. I was like, yeah. So I said, well, if they say something about my plants, because I got more than 5, if they say something about that, then they have to say something about all this other stuff. Love couch, bikes, storage, recyclables, all that stuff on these balconies and patios. So my plants is like nothing compared to that stuff. But this plant stand I saw on Amazon, and it's really nice, and it will really enhance my patio. My patio is really, really nice. Um, my friend always tell me it looked like it should be in like a magazine or something. And then the people around here, when they walk by, especially like the women, when they walk by, they're always looking at my patio. I be sitting here on the couch and I catch them. I catch them looking at my patio. So it was I just talked to this Mexican lady that live in here, and we had a good conversation. You know, she got 2 kids and 2 small kids. I think she said she's separated from their father. But we talked one night because I was talking to the white lady that lived in front of me. And so she came up. We was talking about the people in the office. So she came up and we all started talking, but the Mexican lady kind of like gave the white lady her back. She didn't want to talk to her no more. But see, the white lady, she when you talking to her, she cuts you off. She always cuts you off. She never let you finish your sentence. She'll change the subject. I'd be like, what the? Sometimes I don't, I talk to her, but sometimes I'm like, dang, if I go and talk to her about this, she's going to be talking about way on left field. And I'm like, this is not what I wanted to talk to you about. She talk about her kids. She talk about her mother, her grandmother, she talk about her mother's boyfriend. I be like, I'm in my head. I'm like, I don't want to talk about this. I just wanted to ask you about this or that. I want to talk to you about a particular thing. And you done going off in left field. And I'm like, And I try to stir the conversation back to the topic that I want to talk about, or the reason why I even, approach her to talk. And she maybe a few seconds, she's back off on left field. I'd be like, oh my goodness. So anyway, the Mexican woman last week when I took the time to sit on my patio. Oh, that's the night that I did the video when I was on my patio. The Mexican woman, she came up and we started talking. And so the white woman was talking too, but like I say, the white woman changes the subject. She's like all over the place. And so the Mexican woman just basically cut her off and just gave her back. Because she was back here and then she was talking to me. And so me and the Mexican woman was talking because we were staying on the subject. We were on a particular subject and we were still talking about that subject, and the white woman kept going off the subject and veering on stuff that's not even important. What we was talking about, we felt was important, and that's what we wanted to stay on, that topic. And so the Mexican woman just started ignoring her and just gave her back. And then when she started talking, the Mexican woman would cut her off like she wasn't even talking. So after me and the Mexican woman finished talking, I was like, oh, I like her. She's cool. That's what I was thinking. And so when the Mexican woman walked away, the white woman said, did you see how she just cut me off? She didn't even let me finish saying what I said. She just kept cutting me off. And I wanted to say so bad. I didn't say it, but I wanted to say so bad. That's what you do to me. You do the same thing to me. You cut me off. You never let me finish what I'm saying. You changed the subject. But I just sat there and smiled at her. Because I was like, I don't know. I'm not finna. Yeah, she was doing it. But you do the same thing to me. So, I'm not finna agree with you that it was wrong because you do the same thing to me. So anyway, I like the Mexican woman. And one day, I think that it was the next day or the day after that, when I was getting ready to go to work, she was out with her two little kids, and we stopped and started talking. And she was, that night she told me that my patio is really nice and she liked my patio. So that day when I seen her about 2 days later, she was saying that she was telling me that she can tell that I'm in the light. And she said the white woman you were talking to is in the darkness, is in darkness. She said, and light talking to darkness. So she said, when she said she always saw my patio, but she didn't know who lived in this apartment. And she said, your patio, out of everybody's, it just seemed like you're a rich person lives here. That's what she said. She said it seemed like a rich person lives here because your patio is nicer than all the patios, all the balconies. And I was telling her about, it's one lady went on the street. Her balcony is really nice too, but it's almost similar to mine's in a way. It's almost similar to mine's. Like she got a big tree on her patio, but she has an umbrella. I don't have an umbrella on my patio, and the umbrella is a nice touch. It's really cute. But I was like, it's a lady. She got a nice balcony, and she got 2 chairs and a table, and I have 2 rocking chairs and like a little coffee table in the middle, because I'm like, I want to rock. I want to be in a rocking chair. I want to rock. I just don't want to be like sitting there. I want to be able to. So I purposely got rocking chairs. But yeah, she don't have rocking chairs. She just got the 2 tables and the 2 chairs and a little table. And then she has I think she has like another big patio chair out there with a tree. It's really nice. It really, in the umbrella, it's really nice. But people really like mine. I don't think too many people see hers because it's facing the street. It's not like inside of the, apartment. So my friend, she gave me some lights. She gave me these string of lights, and the bulb is like maybe about this big. So I got these black string of lights on my patio, going on the rail and at the bottom of the rail. So when I turn on the lights, because I have electricity out on my patio, when I turn on the lights, it looks so nice. It's so nice out there when I turn on my lights. But I just hate, because I can't really enjoy it like I want to. Not yet. I haven't been really able to. My friend came over one time and we sat out there, but it was cold the time that she came over. And we sat out there and talked and laughed. We had a good time. But I'm hoping to sit out there a lot more this spring in the summertime at night. Sit out there and enjoy my patio. I know if I sit out there in the summertime, I'm gonna have to be probably like a small layer of clothes over me so I won't get bit by the mosquitoes. It's things you can do though. I think it's things you can do to keep the mosquitoes away. Now that I think about it, I did see some things you can do to keep mosquitoes away, and I was like, I'm going to do that. So I probably do that next time. If I go out there in the summertime and there's mosquitoes, I do what it was. I think I saw it on YouTube, but I can also Google things to do to keep mosquitoes away. But yeah, so I um I was just thinking about, man, I'd be so glad when I'm Yahweh blesses me financially, so I don't have to deal with HUD housing, and these people be it feel like they want your soul, the information that they ask for, and you got to give account numbers, bank account numbers, social security number. You give them so much stuff, they can really, if there's crooked people working in the housing authority and apartment buildings, they can take your information and scam with it. They can. They can do all kinds of stuff. They got your bank account numbers, they have your social security number, they have a lot of things. They can do a lot with that information, I feel like. um yeah, so I don't like all that. And I did feel too when I first moved in here and I was giving the housing authority all that information. Um, I think something had happened to make me think, see, I didn't even have this problem before. It was something. It made me think that my information was compromised because something happened that made me think that it's because I gave this information to the housing authority. I have freezed my credit, Equifax, Experian, I think I'm saying them right, and TransUnion. I froze all my credit. It's been froze for some years. So, because there was a breach at my doctor's office, and I think they have my social security number. So, because of that breach, one of the options they told us was to freeze everything. So I was like, that's a good idea. So I froze everything. So when I buy a car, or I need to apply for a credit card or something, all I do is, well, when you buy a car, you need to unfreeze all of them because they want to check all of them. But when you open up like a credit card or something, you can Google and ask, um, like say Capital One, which credit bureau do Capital One check for credit cards applications? And it'll tell you which bureau that Capital One checks. So if Capital One checks um, Equifax, oh, they check Equifax. Then just unlock Equifax and apply for your credit card or whatever you need to do, you know. So that's how I do it. Instead of unlocking all of them, because you don't know which one they're going to check, they might just check one. And you be, instead of being bothered with unfreezing all of them, you just Google it and it'll tell you which one, and that's the one you unfreeze. And you can set it to like, you can tell it the day you want it to unfreeze, and you can tell it the day you want it to go back and freeze itself again. So it'll automatically go back on the day that you want your credit to go back to being froze. But yeah, that's how I do it. And it also keeps you too from not applying for so much stuff. Oh, it keeps you from not applying for so much credit and stuff. Because then, you know how they'd be like, oh, credit card here, credit card there. Apply for this, apply for that. And then you be like, And then you think, oh, wait a minute, I got to unfreeze the credit bureau. That's okay. That's okay. So it helps you not to get all that credit and debt, you know? So that's a good thing. But yeah, I have talked to y'all for an hour. Boy, who would ever knew that I would record videos and talk for a whole hour? If y'all only knew how I grew up, I was a very shy and timid child, okay? But when you grow up with a Mississippi family, strict Mississippi family, okay? And the father was in the Marines, and where kids were seen and not heard, okay? He would tell you in a minute, shut up. And it could be just me and my sister talking with each other. Like, you know, we could be sitting next to each other and we talking to each other. Shut up. I was like, I really like, I don't think that you should tell a child to shut up like that. I think especially if it's like two kids talking, they're not being loud, they're not being obnoxious. I don't think you should tell the kids to shut up, because I feel like when you constantly telling a kid to shut up, you're stunning their speech. You're stunning their voice to be vocal and to be outgoing. You're making them go into a shell, you know. So yeah, I don't, and I'm like, I'm not this, you know, I'm not real. How can I say it? I feel that kids should be respectful. And I don't agree with the way a lot of these kids are today, but I don't feel like I don't feel like you should constantly tell a child to shut up, especially if they're talking, if kids are talking amongst each other and they're not loud, they're not fighting, they're just talking, you know, and you tell them to shut up. Yeah. So I see in myself, as I was coming up, people used to always say I was quiet. And a lot of people would mistaken it for me being conceited, but I was told to shut up all the time, you know. And then it actually stunts your who is this calling me? Incoming. They just called me earlier, the same number. Anyway, but I think it stunts your speech. Maybe not be able to communicate with people, being constantly told to shut up as a young child. But I don't think he knew that. I don't think he realized that he was doing that. Yeah, I don't think so. And growing up like that, and then when holidays come, like Black History Month, Christmas, Easter, and then they shoving a speech in your face. Like, you want me to get up on stage and say this speech. You want me to memorize it and say this speech in front of everybody. And I never wanted to do that. But now, as I'm an adult, I see why. I was constantly told to shut up. I was constantly told to basically go into a shell and be quiet. So now you handing me a speech, and now you want me to get up in front of everybody on the stage and recite a speech. That don't go together. That don't go hand in hand. Shut up, shut up, shut up, shut up. And then here's a speech, get in front of everybody and say this speech. That, yeah, that don't go together at all. So yeah, I remember that one Christmas. Well, I think it was, yeah, it was Christmas. Um, I had my mother and father. They went to two different churches for some time. Um, they were at two different churches, both of the churches in Compton. My mother was at a big church, big, well-known church, and my father was at a small church, not well-known church. And I had speech. So we were going to both churches, me and my sister. Sometimes we would go with my father, sometimes we go with my mother. But we loved my mother's church way better than my father's church because all the other kids was at my mother's church. There was a big church. So it was a bunch of kids. We had a kids usher board, and we had the summertime, we had the vacational Bible study, I believe it's called, in the summer. I think it was like 2 weeks. And her church was always going places, outings. And I remember we went to the Rose Bowl parade one time, slept out on the ground. I remember we went camping one time in the mountains. And when it got dark, okay, I ain't never seen darkness like that before. It was dark, dark, pitch dark. Like you couldn't see your hand in front of your face. I remember one night, I can't remember how many nights we camped out there. But there we had big tents, and it was several of us in one tent. But I remember we taking this trail. We was going to I think a luau or something, and it was nighttime, and we were in a line following each other through the darkness at night to this luau, whatever it was. Um, but yeah, that was fun. That was fun. That was when the Cabbage Patch was out deep. I remember that because on the way to that camping thing, it was my mother driving and one of the ladies in the church, and then me, my sister, and her daughter. And we were sitting in the back seat, and her daughter had a Cabbage Patch doll. And me and my sister was crazy about that Cabbage Patch doll. She had a girl Cabbage Patch doll. And so we were so crazy about that Cabbage Patch doll. But when Christmas came, my parents both got a Cabbage Patch doll. But we got boys. We got boy Cabbage Patch doll, not girl. We wanted a girl. But I think they probably waited too long to get it. So there's probably was only boys left. I remember my Cabbage Patch doll name too, Elroy. They came already named. So, but yeah, he had on a burgundy suit, two-piece suit. Anyway, I guess I will let you guys go. Don't look like I'm going to work tonight. It's 4:30 right now, so don't look like I'm going. Yeah. So I guess I'm gonna wash this chicken off and deep fry me some chicken. I need to make these mashed potatoes too. If I feel like it, I might bake this chocolate cake. That would be really nice though, to have some chocolate cake after I finish eating this chicken and mashed potatoes. But you know what? I think first I'm gonna make me some coffee with some raisin bread. Because I like to have it's morning to me. I like to have my morning coffee. And and I put a little sugar in my coffee, and it was giving me a headache. And some said, well, you need to eat a little something with the coffee because it'll take me a while to eat. So now I have like a half a bagel with some whipped cream cheese on it, or I have me some raisin bread with a little butter on it, and I don't have a headache if I eat a little something with the coffee until I get ready to actually eat me a meal. Um, yeah, so I won't have that headache. But I guess I'm gonna like make this mashed potatoes because my friend, she made me some food, and she wanted me to meet her at the hospital and pick it up from her before she go in. And so I have to meet her in like a couple of hours, a little over a couple of hours. But if I can go on peel these potatoes, I don't know if it'll be done, but I can go on make this mashed potatoes, and when she give me the food, I can give her the mashed potatoes and put some ice packs with it until she get off. I don't know if it. She might have to put it in the refrigerator though, because you know nurses work 12 hours. That's a long time. Those ice packs are not gonna be still froze in 12 hours. So she might have to take it inside and put it in the refrigerator. Um, so yeah. And then I still need to finish filling out this crap, this housing authority stuff. Well, I kind of look at it like, I was like, Yahweh, I can't wait for you to bless me financially so I can get off this housing assistance, because this is just too much work. I mean, just too much. Like, especially with them putting me on a short time limit like this, which I'm not worrying about because the year is wrong. And that manager man ain't even emailed me back. But I ain't gonna worry about it because they put the wrong year on here. So I have it, I send it on Tuesday. I email my advocate and see if she can send it on Tuesday. Give me time to fill it out and have everything, you know, correct on there. But yeah, maybe I can sit on my balcony, my patio tonight. I mean, around dusk today. Maybe I can and see tomorrow. Well, I was thinking about meeting an advocate, but I'm just gonna wait till Tuesday to do it. Um, yeah, I'll just wait till Tuesday to meet her and send the paperwork and stuff. But yeah, so I might be able to sit on my patio tonight and soak my feet. I got a lot to do though. I do. I got a lot to do today. Mm. I didn't even do laundry this week. Well, I did. I did laundry. My towels. I had so many towels. I washed all of them, and then I washed all my clothes the week before that. And so now I just need to wash like my rugs. I got some rugs I need to wash, some bedding, and a few clothes, and that's it. But I was like, I'll do it next week. So I gotta go get a deep cleaning tomorrow at the dentist at 5 p.m. And I'll see how I feel because I want to work after I leave the dentist, work until midnight. So if I get out of dentist like 7, I can work 5 hours. But I want to see how I feel because sometimes, you know, when you leave the dentist office, you don't feel too good. You kind of have like a little headache because, you know, all that's connected, you know. So we'll see. But I guess I'll let you guys go. I really don't want to let you go. But this video is long. And, you know, if you ain't got nothing to do, you can watch it. You know, it was nothing on YouTube yesterday. Like, absolutely nothing. I was like, ain't nothing worth watching on YouTube. I really watch a lot of YouTube. I don't watch movies. I used to watch movies a lot, but lately I haven't been a movie person at all. So I watch a whole lot of YouTube. I don't listen to music unless I'm doing Uber, because I'm like music out, because when you work and you at work for 8 hours or 9 hours and you listening to music for that long, you be like, yeah. So I don't listen to music at home. I watch a lot of podcasts. I watch videos, reaction videos, um, and videos about me learning something. I watch those type of videos. I would like to do reaction videos though, but it's kind of hard to figure out a little bit. I watched videos of them showing how to do it. I don't think they. Yeah, it's kind of hard to figure out. They say you need. I think the easiest way they would say that you need like two cell phones or maybe a tablet and a cell phone, which I have, but I can't figure it out really. So if I can figure it out, I would love to do reaction videos, where you have some video and then you right there and you can stop, pause it, and you can react to it and all that stuff. So yeah, I just wish I had a real tech savvy person to sit down with me and go over that with me, how to do that. That's what I wish. So, because I think those are action videos, do pretty good. Um, this channel is not monetized because of the things I say, the truth. That's why. But, so yeah, I would like to do reaction videos. All right. Well, I should just pray about it and somebody will come along one day and teach me how to do it. All right. Well, I will talk to you guys later. I got to get me some coffee, some raisin bread, and say my prayer. Yeah, I haven't prayed yet. All right. Bye.